For him, the man who carries the weight of everything and tells no one. If you're listening to this, it's because life is calling you to rise. Not as a boy trying to prove something, but as a man finally stepping into his power. Let's start with something most men never hear. Your value does not come from how much you produce. Your value comes from who you become while producing. You are not a machine. You're not here only to work, grind, hustle, and burn out. You're here to build, yes. You're here to create, absolutely. But you're also here to feel, to connect, to love, to grow. A man who ignores his emotions loses his intelligence. A man who loses his intelligence loses everything. And now, let's talk about money. Most men chase money out of fear. Fear of being nothing. Fear of being forgotten. Fear of not being enough. But money doesn't come to fear. Money comes to clarity, calmness, and purpose. When your mind is chaotic, money avoids you. When your energy is scattered, opportunities disappear. But when your masculine energy is grounded, truly grounded, money begins to flow toward you because you become stable, predictable, trustworthy, intentional. A man who knows who he is becomes magnetic. Now let's go deeper. Your sexual energy is tied to your success. Most men waste it on distraction, temptation, and instant pleasure, and then wonder why they feel tired, unfocused, empty. But when a man learns to manage his sexual energy, to transform desire into discipline, fantasy into focus, pleasure into power, he becomes unstoppable. Your sexual energy is not a weakness. It's fuel. When directed correctly, it builds money, momentum, ambition, and vision. When misused, it destroys them. A man who controls his desires becomes a man who controls his destiny. Now we move to something every man needs to understand. Not every woman is built for the man you are becoming. There are women who distract you, women who drain you, women who make you doubt yourself, women who want your presence but not your growth. And then, there is the rare woman who makes you expand, a woman who speaks life into you, a woman whose softness stabilizes you, a woman whose calmness awakens your strength, a woman who makes you want to build more, do more, become more, a woman who supports your rise without needing to dim your light. If you find a woman who brings peace to your chaos, warmth to your ambition, and softness to your hard days, protect her. A feminine woman is not a weakness. She is a multiplier. Men build the structure, but women shape the atmosphere that helps him rise. Now we shift into something deeper, your emotional side. You were told to be tough, to be silent, to suck it up, to pretend you're fine even when you're breaking. But masculinity isn't silence. Masculinity is stability. A stable man feels his emotions without drowning in them. He speaks his truth without fear. He handles pressure without losing himself. He knows how to say, "I'm struggling," without collapsing. The strongest men are not the ones who hide their wounds. They are the ones who grow through them. Now let's talk about work. A man must work. Yes. But if you are working without purpose, without rest, without emotional balance, without sexual discipline, you're not building a life. You're escaping from one. Your work should elevate you, not drain you. Your work should bring out your creativity, your intelligence, your leadership. Your work should express who you are, not erase you. A man with no purpose gets lost. A man with purpose becomes a force of nature. Now, let's discuss relationships with a different lens. A woman doesn't want a perfect man. She wants a present man. A man who listens. A man who leads with calmness. A man who respects her feminine heart but never abandons his masculine spine. A man who can give affection without losing direction. A man who can love without collapsing. A man who chooses her but keeps choosing himself too. Love requires emotional maturity, sexual discipline, stability, honesty, and presence. Without presence, the relationship dies. Without leadership, the polarity disappears. Without gentleness, the intimacy fades. Without discipline, the respect dissolves. Now let's go deeper, to the core of all masculine energy. A man becomes powerful when he becomes quiet. Not silent, quiet inside. When his mind is calm, his decisions become sharp. When his heart is steady, his relationships blossom. When his energy is controlled, his success accelerates. When he is rooted in his purpose, nothing can shake him. True masculinity is not loud. It doesn't need to prove anything. It doesn't chase validation. It doesn't seek attention. True masculinity is presence, direction, stability, conviction, self-respect. A man who knows who he is doesn't need to convince anyone. Now, one final truth for him. The truth you might have forgotten. You are designed to break, rebuild, rise, and be